Our Bridge the Gap manual was designed for students in second grade or above that are still struggling with word reading. When using Bridge the Gap as part of an intervention, you will focus on just 2 to 3 phonemic awareness skills, taking just about 5 minutes. It is important to remember that this phonemic awareness instruction is just one piece of your literacy intervention. We want to ensure that students see these sounds brought into print through explicit phonics instruction and have the opportunity to apply these skills to controlled and decodable text. As you review your Bridge the Gap manual, you will notice it is designed in 3 parts. Part 1 is phoneme isolation. Students will engage in isolating initial, final, and medial sounds. As we move into Part 2, you will see a little bit of phonological awareness in this manual. We realize that some students may not yet be able to hear those phonemes in words, so we give them the opportunity to blend and segment at the syllable level. And you will also see lessons at the phoneme level for blending and segmenting. In Part 3, we move to more advanced skills. We ask students to manipulate phonemes in words by adding, deleting, or substituting. Now, you may be looking at your manual and wondering, so where do I begin? You will begin by assessing your students with our placement assessment on pages 5 to 12. As you are administering that placement assessment, you will see 3 parts that matches the 3 parts of the manual. Now, you may notice that as you're administering this assessment, some students are struggling with parts 1 and 2. If that is the case, you can discontinue the assessment and administer part 3 at a later time. Once you have those scores, use the scoring guidelines on page 13. That page will allow you to see the areas that you need to target for your students. In the right-hand column, you will see the lesson numbers that address those areas of need. Looking at the top of your scoring guidelines, you will see that if a student scores in the range of 0 to 4, that is considered an area of need. That scoring guideline page begins with early skills, moves into basic, and then finally advanced skills. So if you have a student that has many areas of need, begin at the top of the page and work your way down. Once you're ready to begin instruction, you will find anchor lessons for each skill. Those anchor lessons allow you to anchor and model the learning for students. Engage in those anchor lessons first, and then move in to those daily lessons. Throughout the lessons, you will see hand motions to support instruction as well as teacher tips. Once you are done teaching lessons from a specific skill or section, you will find a progress monitoring assessment. At the bottom of that assessment will be a scoring guideline. This will help inform your next steps. If students are secure, you may move on to more complex skills. If students still are not yet proficient with that skill, you will reteach those lessons until students reach proficiency. You may find that you work through all 3 parts of the manual, your students are secure in working with those more advanced skills of manipulation. And you may be wondering, what comes next? That last page of our manual provides that information for you. You may want to reassess your students using that placement assessment. You can compare pre and post scores side by side. As you administer that assessment again, if you find there are still needs for areas of instruction, you may provide and reteach those skills. You also may find your students are proficient at working with phonemes, and that is our goal. Phonemic awareness instruction is a means to an end. If your students are proficient at working with phonemes, we then want to move on to that explicit phonics instruction and continue offering that opportunity to apply these skills to controlled decodable texts, as well as that opportunity for writing. We hope our manual truly does help bridge the gap for our readers.